Yes.
What comes to mind when I say sexy?
Okay, first thing.
Hold on. I just want you to see
Right.
sexy.
For the audio listeners, Sarel is pointing directly at her face, not sure why.
Sexy.
Yeah, not sure why.
What comes to mind when I say
So
sexy?
what comes to mind when you say sexy to me is the seminal classic Get Sexy by Sugar Babes, which obviously was written about you. I think that's what you're getting at.
Right.
And then Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake, I would say, are the two things that come to mind.
Okay.
And the third, of course, would be
me. Thank you so much. To be honest, I just feel I am, first of all, one of the most sexiest women on planet Earth.
T.
Facts. And if I wanted to sell you, I don't know, a bottle of shampoo or something, you're more likely to buy it if it's in my hands, you know?
No.
Or if it's in like the hands of a sexy man. I know you
Swing that
veer
way.
that way.
Right.
You do.
That'll do it.
If it was a sexy man, you'd buy the shampoo, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I would be more likely to buy it if it was a nice man holding it. Don't ask questions that you already know the answer to.
Yeah, true.
What a waste of everyone's time.
Sex sells.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Sarel.
And I'm Jack Remmington, and this is Famously in Love, where every episode we pull apart and examine some of the most crazy celebrity love stories.
It's your weekly dose of celebrity gossip with a wider look on why we care so much and why we're so invested.
From BBC Sounds, this is Famously in Love.
So, like I said, sex sells, and that's what we are going to explore today, okay? Why sex can help change, boost, and even transform a celebrity's career. There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it comes to marketing, somebody somewhere in the marketing department was like, oh my God, things are flying off the shelf when you just put them next to a beautiful woman or when you put
With
them
no
next,
clothes on.
With very
minimal
little,
clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot.
But I feel like, we somewhere in the marketing, it clicked that people like sexy people and trust sexy people. Because
they have...
You look sexy, so therefore whatever you're selling me, I'm going to buy to look like you.
If I think about a lot of ads for products that I can remember, a lot of them are...
Oh.
Like the Calvin Klein, what's his name? Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Sexy. David Gandy with Davidoff Cool Water was in a boat and I think off the coast of Italy. It's just all, like you can just...
Yeah. And like, what's they called? Victoria's Angels?
Victoria's Angels.
The Angels.
Yeah.
They were like
They
huge.
were. They were until they weren't.
They were until
the owner was a rotter.
Rihanna came along and said...
Miss Fenty.
And said, absolutely not. Body inclusivity on my watch.
Body tea.
But yeah, sex does sell at the end of the day.
Well, let's take it back with an iconic example of the power of sex and the ultimate Bible on how to make money from sex. First, let's go back to 2007.
Go on.
2007, famously...
Pound coin?
No, that was 1983.
Sorry, I get them confused.
Okay, if 2003 was Crazy in Love, 2007 was...
Umbrella.
Correct, by Rihanna. Song of the Summer. The wettest summer on record because of that song.
Because of her.
Spice Girls reunited for the first time. And Soulja Boy's Crank That was released.
What a hit.
Soulja Boy up in that house. Wanna be great, wanna be raw, wanna be great, that's Soulja Boy, that's who wanna be woo. Yeah, amazing. So, 2003, Crazy in Love was released. Kim Kardashian starts dating Ray J and was a stylist for his sister Brandy.
Yes.
Sexy Can I by Ray J is one of my favourite songs
Sexy
ever. Can I just part of my manners?
Girl,
It's got,
great.
Really good.
And One Wish.
What? Yes.
Oh.
And she was a stylist for his sister Brandy, which is not totally known. No. But it's
not
quite
widespread
iconic.
Information, but it is.
Until now.
Till us.
2004. Paris Hilton's sex tape is leaked.
Yes.
Around the same time that A Simple Life started. And this is relevant. Well, the crossover is crazy because obviously Kim Kardashian was friends with Paris Hilton. She started as her wardrobe assistant.
Yes.
But this was a very topical thing in terms of to bear in mind for us moving forward with the Kim example to go, Paris's sex tape was leaked around a time that A Simple Life debuted and that show did really quite well, didn't it? And there was quite a lot of publicity around that show. So hold on to that one.
Yeah.
2006 to 2007, Kim K and Ray J break up.
Sad times.
Now, 2007 March, a sex tape of Kim and Ray J is leaked.
Yes.
Kim sues Vivid, which is the platform that
Distributor?
first released it. Yeah. But Ray J and his manager insist that it was always a pre-planned way to gain money and notoriety with Kris Jenner's involvement. The devil works hard.
But Kris Jenner.
Oh, she'll work harder. April of 2007, so 1 month after the leak, Keeping Up with the Kardashians starts filming. Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
Look at that for timing.
How weird is that?
He works in mysterious ways. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? 2012, 5 years later, the Kardashians do a primetime interview with Oprah and deny any involvement in the sex tape being released. Kris gave us the iconic line, "When I first heard about Kim's tape, as her mother, I wanted to kill her, but as her manager..." I mean, that is just legendary.
That is, it doesn't get...
It's canon.
Right?
Yeah, it really is. It's Nick Cannon. And then Keeping Up with the Kardashians got 20 seasons on E! So it was their most popular show ever, undoubtedly. Over 15 years on, the sex tape scandal has followed Kim's career. Whether it's a comedian, a commentator, or a random person on Twitter, someone is always ready to point out that Kim's sex tape was a launch pad for the whole family.
Yeah.
To date, the Kardashian empire spans multiple clothing and makeup lines, books, workout videos, spin-off reality TV shows, perfume brands. Kim K alone is worth over 1.5 billion.
Crazy.
And as of 2023, Ray J's net worth is approximately 14 million, which is actually more than I thought it would be.
Really?
14? He's not huge.
Put some respect on Ray J's name.
Listen.
Okay.
Sexy Can I is... Anyway. My thoughts on this, by the way, just before we carry on, are the whole thing of people saying, the Kardashians have got no talent. I can't believe they've got to where they have got. I do think they have talent, but even if you... Let's run with that. If you think they don't...
Yeah.
How phenomenal that they've maxed out the potential of their little talent.
Exactly. From no talent.
For just Kim to be worth 1.5 bill. As a family, they're probably worth
huge
6+.
Yeah.
If you add in Kylie and Kendall and everything else. And Kris.
Yeah.
So I just think, at absolute worst, if you're saying they have no skill, then they've not done half bad for a family with little skill.
They're doing pretty well for themselves.
So the question is, when your sex life becomes public, how can you profit from it?
You may as well lean into it, right?
Yeah,
you either lean into it in the positive or in the I've learnt my lesson and I want to be an advocate for XYZ. But either way, it's now a part of your branding, really and truly.
It is, but then, for instance, I would say arguably the most famous, maybe the most famous sex tape for our generation is Kim K, but I would say of all time is probably Pam and Tommy.
100%.
And I think the difference there was that was absolutely not leaked by her. It was like a disgruntled former employee stole it from the safe, leaked it. And I think what was difficult, obviously, for Pamela at the time was she was she'd had the most Playboy spreads. And so I think particularly at that point, that was 1996, the way that women were viewed at the time, particularly women who would get their boobs out as a job, is like, that's, it's not a far cry from a sex tape, which obviously is so different because she chose to do that. She didn't choose to. And there's just no discrepancy in that. No one is saying, come on, she must have had a hand in it. It was a disgruntled employee who leaked it, stole it. And what was crazy was at the time, there was no one got prosecuted. Even the company that distributed it didn't get prosecuted from being sued because the laws were so lax, because this was such an unprecedented thing. You couldn't do anything about it.
She basically started something she actually didn't even want to be a part of, as in what happens when a sex tape does get leaked, and what steps can you take. And again, it's always the woman who just ends up having to bear the brunt of it, and it is a shame. But with the whole Kim K thing, the difference is, if you believe Ray J's camp, the difference is this was all premeditated, planned. We had a plan. We executed it. We knew it was going to do wonders for both of us. And some might argue, denying that was the case obviously worked well for Kim. Again, we're just saying we believe Ray J at this moment. Worked well for Kim, denying, no, I didn't play a part in this. And she sues the distributing company. But it didn't actually work out well for Ray J because he became public enemy number one. Everybody basically turned on him. And I guess it's because of the whole Pamela thing. People felt quite protective of the woman in this case.
Do you think things would have panned out differently if she'd have said, I did have a hand in it?
Huge slut shaming.
Yes. But long term, would we have still got 20 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Yes, but I don't think we would hold the Kardashians in such
or
high
at least
regard.
Kim in higher regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because we hold her as, I mean, she's not to downplay
Problematic
what she
fave.
does. Well, and also, like, she's a reality TV star who's just ran with, and very smart, does law, whatever. I'm not trying to deny that.
Constantly reinvented, blah, blah, blah. Champagne on her bum, broke the internet.
Fantastic.
The phrase broke the internet literally came
because of
like,
Kim.
It's just crazy.
Like, she has done many things, but at the crux of it, reality TV star who used to be wardrobe assistant and stylist.
Which is so iconic.
Right? Always knew she wanted to be famous.
Sky is the limit.
Exactly.
Ray J said that he thinks Kim K paved the way for OnlyFans. Now, I don't know that I would go that far because I feel like porn has existed forever. It's just more now that with OnlyFans creators, I think it's more that when social media is linked to sex work, it's the idea that you can build a following for yourself rather than people paying for like a subscription to a porn studio. Yeah. It's, no, I bought into you and everything you are, so let me subscribe solely to you.
Yeah.
And also, I guess there's, whether this is, a secondary thing or at the forefront of people's minds when they pay for an OnlyFans subscription, but it is taking the power back to be like, yeah, I'm almost like I'm supporting a small business in the sense that it's like we've all heard about the way that a lot of porn studios treat their actors and, inherently misogynistic, blah, 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 horrible contracts. And I think because it's seen as existing a little bit outside of the law and outside the realms of like respectability politics, I think that people don't really care to change, to engage in the changing of laws around that kind of thing. So I think, there's a lot of positives to have come from OnlyFans.
Oh, absolutely. And
I don't think it was Kim's doing.
No, I don't think that Kim is the reason for OnlyFans, nor do I think if she was to come out now and admit it, it would completely break her out.
No, I don't think it would. But I do think the way to profit from a sex scandal, this is textbook, like, no one does it like Kris Jenner.
No one.
If you end up having a sex tape leaked, whether you deliberately did it or not, and you want to capitalise off it, you ring the momager. Bring.
Straight on the hotline.
Kris.
Yeah. Kris, she plays chess while the rest are playing checkers.
As in, I think she's a level above chess. I don't know what that would be. I'd need to talk to Anya Taylor-Joy, but like, it is something wild.
She is just ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
so
she is the curve.
She is the curve.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kris.
Shout out to Kris.
Is your life missing even more celebrity scandals?
Stacey Dooley and Larry Dean are the duo you didn't know you needed, and every Thursday they'll be dissecting some of the juiciest celebrity scandals, both in court and by public opinion.
Listen to every episode of Famously on Trial on BBC Sounds. Right, so I want to now have a look at what happens when two celebrities use their appeal as a couple as an advantage. Okay. So they're both in on it. They both know what they're doing. It is a strategy from the jump, okay? So we've got Megan Fox, who is famously in a relationship with Machine Gun Kelly, okay?
Which is such a weird name, by the way. When you actually deep it, we don't really unpack it. Machine Gun Kelly. I don't know if his real name's Kelly or not, but...
What if his real name's Machine?
Right, let's move on.
I'm just saying.
Middle name Gun. Yeah, cool. Surname Kelly.
Double-barreled, actually. Double-barreled.
What, the gun?
Hey! I see what you did there. Yes. So here's the timeline. May 2020, rumours begin that Megan and MGK are dating.
Oh, we're abbreviating it now?
Yeah. To be cool.
MGK. Cool.
They met on Midnight.
No, they met on the movie set of Midnight in the Switchgrass, which is an indie film that they were in together.
Yeah. They met on Midnight in the Switchgrass movie set.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You didn't let me finish my flipping sentence. Thank you, Oxford. So they met on the movie set of the movie.
So where did they meet?
Oh, go on. You just say it.
They met on the movie set of Midnight in the Switchgrass, which is an indie film they were both in. It was absolutely slagged off by critics.
Was it?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Apparently it was like horrendously a chaos, but like a watchable shit, basically. Oh, like watch it because you'll love to hate it.
Right.
But it's at least better than being rubbish. It's like goodly rubbish.
It's like you want to watch the train crash. The crane crash.
Pick up the train.
Yes.
Exactly.
In June 2020, Megan and MGK become official, okay? So they are now togethers.
Also, just for those who don't know, and I'm so jealous that you don't and that you are unaware of this, they are basically, Meghan has said that she's in a submissive role in the relationship. She enjoys BDSM. She said on a red carpet, you know, when asked, she was like, oh, well, whatever daddy wants. Like, she's very publicly saying this is the path I've chosen with him, and he's this kind of deity, and I'm just here to be sacrificed.
Yeah. That's like the norm in their relationship.
Yeah.
That's their, yeah.
Yeah.
January 2022, Machine Gun Kelly proposes to Meghan.
Yeah.
With a thorned engagement ring. I
hate the thorned engagement ring.
I don't like it.
No.
I despise it, in fact, with passion. And do you know what? If she loves it, I love it for her. But if my man got down on bended knee, opened that box up, and there was a thorned ring...
Meaning, by the way, that when you take it off, it causes physical pain. Like, not just pain, I think, like, damage. Like
emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Thorns within the inside of the ring.
No.
Ooh.
No.
You know, it's like a valve. You know, when you put it on and then it can't go the other way without...
No.
Hell.
So, no to the thorn engagement ring, but they got engaged, okay? In March 2024, Megan Fox says she will no longer talk about her relationship status with Machine Gun Kelly following some rocky moments on Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy podcast.
She said, I knew right away that he was what I call a twin flame.
Imagine.
And I'd heard of twin flames, but I actually didn't know that this was a definition of it. Instead of a soulmate, a twin flame is actually where a soul has ascended into a high enough level that it can be split into two different bodies at the same time. So we're actually two halves of the same soul, I think, she said. And I said that to him almost immediately because I felt it right away.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That is deep.
I didn't even know that that's what twin flame... I knew it was intense.
I just thought twin flame kind of meant soulmate, like twin flame.
I knew it was deeper than a soulmate, but I didn't realise it was because it was from the same soul.
Like a twin flame.
So when their sex life goes public, okay, the thorn ring that hurts to take off, references to drinking each other's blood.
Which she then clarifies with, oh yeah, no, we don't do like pints of blood. It's not like Game of Thrones. We just do a few drops for rituals. Rituals. She said rituals.
Which is giving witchcraft.
Very much giving witchcraft. It's giving I called the witch doctor.
Yes, literally that. And then whatever daddy wants, VMA moment.
Yeah, so I just... As in, obviously, say what you want, but her whole argument was... Everyone called me a feminist icon until I said what I want to be referred to in the way that I want to be subservient to him and call him daddy, and then all of a sudden I'm anti-feminist, which I understand her perspective on, but I think you treads a fine line, doesn't it? Because it's like, if what you're saying you're choosing to do is just be the second in command in every way, you can understand why a lot of women are like, well, that to me is not my version of empowered.
Exactly.
Your version of empowered is great for you, but that's not what
mine.
I think is the best thing to platform. But again, as we've spoken about before, if that suits them,
go for it.
Role model, schmole model, like what does it matter?
You do you, right? And then obviously the references to Demons and Lucifer, which I'll be very frank with you.
Yeah.
There are a few things I don't F's with.
Yeah.
I don't F's with the devil.
No.
I don't F with Lucifer. I don't F with the demons. No. Okay?
So in October 2021, she uploaded a photo of her and him with the caption, are you all right with this? The tale of two outcasts and star-crossed lovers caught in the throes of a torrid solar flare of a romance. That's okay, like Romeo and Juliet tease.
Sure.
Featuring feverish obsession, guns addiction, shamans, lots of blood, general mayhem, therapy, tantric night terrors, binding rituals, chakra sound baths, psychedelic hallucinations, organic smoothies, and the kind of sex that would make Lucifer clutch his rosary. That, to me, that is enough reason to ban ChatGPT. PT, BT, don't care, never going to use it.
Ew.
That whole thing is just
awful.
Let's find every buzzword noun and throw them together.
Also, why does Lucifer have rosaries? So let's start there. That's
agreed.
It's giving slight blasphemy.
Thicko as well, like of all people.
Of all the things.
Who's going to have rosaries the least?
Like,
it's not going to be old, antithesis of God, is it?
So let's start there. Secondly, I feel like I need to pray after reading that.
Yes, because I agree. I'm not religious and so do I.
What? I feel like their relationship, it's too much for me personally.
Yeah.
But I want to know why as a society, we are now so invested in the sex lives of celebrity couples.
I think we're invested when they make us invested because they've opened the door. I don't ever think that I'm invested in the sex lives of celebrity couples who haven't told me about their sex life at one point. I don't go around thinking, like, yeah, I would love to think that Rihanna and ASAP have great sex, but I don't actually think about it. I don't
Because
think
they
about
don't
Jay-Z and
talk about
Beyonce
it.
having sex.
Yeah.
If you're saying, oh, my man does this, we can go 5 rounds a night. If you're actually saying that in interviews or on your Instagram, then you've opened up a can of worms there and the worms aren't going to get back in.
Yeah.
That's where I think the difference is. So yes, I guess it's this like, you and I are the prime, like we love to hear goss
salacious
and exactly.
Great detail.
But I do think it is absolutely self-induced. I don't think we think about it of people that haven't.
And I think celebrities
to
need to understand that it's okay to have secrets.
Not even secrets. It's okay to just not tell us everything.
It's okay
It doesn't
to
need to be
have
under lock and key. Just keep your mouth shut sometimes.
Do you know what? If you feel like you want to say it in an interview, before you get to the interview, FaceTime your best friend and get it off of your chest. And then when you go into the interview, just talk about the movie you're promoting. Because I actually don't need to know.
No.
I don't need to know that you call him daddy. I don't need to know. I don't need to know any of it. When it comes to some form of oversharing, though, I won't lie. If there is a lesson behind it.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
No, share it.
Oh, sorry, yes.
If there is a lesson behind it. So that's where I feel like that. So it's, how can I
little
put it?
tidbits of wisdom that we can gain.
Exactly. And also, Megan Fox, at her current age, I don't know how old she is, 30...
I guess early 30s, yeah.
5? 30.
38? God, she looks good.
What's your moisturiser, darling?
Blood.
Clearly. I think Megan... Oh, well, I was going to say, she's in the late 30s. Okay, cool. If she was like over the age of 45.
Mm-hmm. Well, she will be in 7 years.
45, 50. And she was telling us, hey, I once dated this man. And we used to drink his blood. We used to drink each other's blood. And I wouldn't recommend that because ABCD or this...
Oh, I got a disease. And therefore, I wouldn't recommend it. Then you can go, God, that's so helpful. Then everyone will have that as their reference point, not to drink blood.
At that point, I would say, okay, there's a reason for this story to come out into the public. She wants to give us
Don't talk for the sake of talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do think, though, that, I mean, this isn't just like, Megan Fox is, to all intents and purposes, a movie star and model, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you hear these kind of things from the upper A-list celebs.
No.
So I do think it comes from, quote unquote, lesser celebrities who need to do the shock value-y type thing. Because, like, Beyonce curates what she wants for us to know nowadays. She doesn't even do interviews, full stop.
Yeah.
But I do think with these kinds, it's like, you couldn't tell me anything else about Machine Gun Kelly or Megan Fox in the last 5 to 10 years.
I don't know anything about either of these two people other than Transformers.
Exactly, Transformers and Jennifer's Body I knew she was in. Machine Gun Kelly couldn't tell you a single song, but what I could tell you about is all this.
But then it makes me more annoyed because, okay, shock value for what? What are you selling?
True.
If you were promoting
relevance,
something...
is it that she is still in the public psyche, so when she gets her next job, she can charge twice as much?
Maybe. But you're Megan Fox, you actually don't have to.
It's true. But celebrities still have their insecurities as well. I'm sure you'd be fearful that you'd fade into the abyss.
I guess
if you'd not been working for a while. Also, do you not find it weird that she will go to all this detail about Lucifer and shamans and the lot? But it is funny that there are rumours that they've been on and off quite a lot, which scares me because does that mean that the ring's been coming on and off and shredding her finger? So she's talking about all that, but when asked a simple question that normal celebs would answer of, oh, so what's your relationship status at the moment with Mar Baker or whatever he's called? Yeah. And the response is, I decline to comment, Fourth Amendment right, or whichever one it is.
No comment.
But you'll tell us all about your night terrors and your binding rituals.
You'll tell us about your quivering orgasms that are sacrifices to Lucifer, but you won't tell us if you two are still together.
Been on a date or not.
Great, makes sense.
It's giving distraction technique. Yeah. Something sinister is going on.
Something's happening. I mean, listen, each to their own, but yeah, you can't really pick and choose. But
maybe you can because each to their own.
No,
I agree with you.
No.
I think ultimately...
0 or 100. 0 or 100. Tell us
0
nothing.
0 to 60 and 3.5.
Tell us nothing. Or tell us at least...
Or tell us, please.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the moment, you are telling us 50% of what we don't want to know.
So Okay, I agree. And I think the only reason we're invested in their sex life is because they've forced it upon us. I don't think we... You know what I mean? If they'd never spoken to us about their sex life and just said, yeah, we're good, we have lovely sex, like, done.
That's it.
Okay, cool, good Lovely. For you. But you've opened that door and I am going to walk into that hallway. And I'm going to look at all the pictures. Yeah. And I'm going to read all your diary entries because you left the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about one of the most well-known faces on British telly.
Go on.
Kerry Katona. Yeah. So she was from Atomic Kitten.
The tide is high, but I'm holding on.
I'm holding on.
I'm gonna be your number one.
Cool. And she's also an author. And her personal life has been marked by several high-profile relationships and 5 children from her marriages. So, 2002 to 2006, Brian McFadden from Westlife, 2 daughters. 2007 to 2011, Mark Croft, 2 children. 2014 to 2017, George Kay, who actually passed away in 2019. She has 1 daughter with him. And then 2018 to current is Ryan Mahoney, a fitness coach. In 2020, she joined OnlyFans during lockdown and had been very open about her financial struggles, including bankruptcy. Last year, she revealed she'd made more than $1 million since joining OnlyFans.
Interesting.
So maybe we get on that.
Literally.
And insists that her fiancé Ryan had no problem with her on OnlyFans and in fact helped her take the snaps for her first shoot. And her eldest daughter, Molly, also helped out.
Fantastic.
It's nice to keep it in the family, isn't it? Small family business.
Yes.
This year, Kerry says she plans to ramp up her output.
Yes.
Pickle pepper. On the site to help her, let's say dropping income. Yeah. But I guess drooping as well. Very sad.
All right, so she peaked with 1 milli and now it started to drop.
Yeah, I guess so. Or maybe it's that it's with time become her only income.
Right.
So who knows?
Who knows?
In the Daily Mirror of June this year, it was quoted that Ryan isn't happy. He says there's a fine line with OnlyFans and he's already uncomfortable with some of the content that Kerry's posted. He's told her he can't help it and no man wants to know his partner's being perved over. So if she were to sex up her content even more, it could cause serious issues in their relationship. She's insisted she won't go full X-rated, but has reminded Ryan that it's her body and her choice. She's the breadwinner and she's told Ryan he needs to understand it and live with it. So leave it all, lump it, Ryan.
Damn.
There's some quite iconic quotes from her as well. She said, I was skint. I had to sell my massive jukebox, which is a wedding present from Brian. It was the only thing I took. I just took the kids in that jukebox, which was like 16 grand. I had to sell it for 1,900 to pay the rent. And I thought, you know what? Let's get my tits out. I used to do it, so why not do it again? And it was the best thing I ever did. I came to the conclusion that God had given me 2 amazing assets in my boobs and I better use them. She also said in an interview with The Sun, I'll give myself credit. I'm a grafter. I came from a foster home. I went to 8 schools. I got clothes off car boot sales. I was a lap dancer. I got in a girl band. I became the face of Iceland. I became a millionaire. I went bankrupt. I lost it all. I became a millionaire again and went bankrupt again, then became a millionaire again. Who does that? And you've got to respect the hustle.
Someone who needs a financial advisor.
Well, I will say yes.
Because you've been a millionaire 3 times and been bankrupt how many times?
Yes.
Okay. Just putting it out there. But anyway.
But I will say, peak hunt material for me.
Oh, and also girl boss 101, because she's like, as quickly as I can make it, girl, I can lose it. I will spend my money.
I'm the breadwinner, Ryan. Yeah. So leave it or lump it, darling.
So pipe down, my love, and start to snapping.
But I guess the question is, does Ryan have a point? At what cost does using sex to market yourself come? So he started by helping her out with OnlyFans content. Yeah. So helping her build her image using sex to make them both money. Mm-hmm. Is he now entitled to change his mind 4 years later?
Yes.
I agree. I think he's entitled to change his mind, but I don't think he's entitled to her necessarily agreeing or being okay with it.
Absolutely. He's entitled to change his mind, but he cannot impose his new boundaries on her.
No.
His boundaries are for him, and if he feels like she has crossed them, he can take himself out of that equation. However, if that is your lady and you love her and your boundaries are like this, you guys can have a conversation, but you can't tell her what to do.
Correct.
I do agree with that. And also, I'm not being funny. I do think there is something that is to be said where it's like, okay, cool, you don't like what I'm doing, but I am A, the breadwinner, B, I make double, triple, quadruple, I don't know how much more than you.
Well, if she's making $1 million and he's a fitness trainer, I imagine she makes a lot more than that.
Quite a bit more. If you want to have a voice, come with a solution. So are you going to start doing OnlyFans?
Right.
Who's going to make this amount of money? Because what I'm not going to do is my standards drop. Mm-hmm. I'm accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle. This is what I want. So I think Kerry has every right to feel how she feels, and so does he.
Agreed. I think ultimately this example's a bit muddy because obviously there was communication enough at the start that they said, Ryan's happy with it, Kerry's doing it, boom. And then now the goalposts are changing a little bit. But I do think so frequently there are situations in relationships where there just aren't open streams of communication.
I mean, with Ryan and Kerry, I definitely think communication has just not happened.
Yeah.
Because I think he could have vocalised his discomfort probably sooner, if he is, because we actually don't know if he completely is, a bit sooner, or put out parameters on what he's comfortable with at the jump, at the beginning.
But being in his corner, maybe he did. Maybe he said, I'm fine with you, love, being on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do X-rated stuff, but absolutely do what you want. She's done all that and then gone, great, boom, 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 million.
Need more.
Oh, because that is the problem, isn't it? It's with anything online. It's almost the Megan Fox thing as well. It's the shock value of needing to say things to stay relevant. If people with an OnlyFans subscription are just like, okay, cool, I've seen your boobs now, 15 posts in a row, I want more. If she's constantly seeing those comments of, oh, come on, take your pants off, then I can understand why she feels the pressure to. People going, I'm quitting my subscription now, I've seen your boobs a million times. How many, there's only so many angles I care to see your boobs in. Get your bum out.
Yeah. And this is where, I guess, having, I don't know, PR, management, branding, whatever, I think if she really thought about it like a business, not to give her any business advice here, but
we're giving you business advice, Katona, if you're listening, and we love you, by the way.
We love you, Queen, hun, love you. If you map out your life in the next 5 years, where do you want to be? And you don't want to be doing X-rated stuff, work your way backwards. Because there are sex toy brands you could work with.
I guess also it's that thing of like, if you have used sex as marketing, because of the way that society views it, almost like the Pamela Anderson thing of like, oh, we don't really care so much about the sex tape because you've already got your boobs out willingly, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Is it the mindset of like, well, you've shared your body, so unfortunately, this is obviously not our opinion, but a lot of society is like, well, I've lost respect for you by doing that. You've taken your clothes off, so you're viewed differently, and you're never going to then be able to, quote unquote, come back from that if you were to want to in future, because you've done the ultimate in people's minds.
I mean, I think people can think like that, but I actually don't think that that's how marketing works. Yes, sex sells, but to definitely a certain type of demographic. So if you've used your body or elements of your sexiness to sell yourself or a product, fine, there's an audience for that. But just like there is a big audience for sex selling, there's a huge audience for modesty, or a huge audience for, like, you can find your audience depending on what you're selling. Now, if you are doing sex sales and you're selling bikinis and that is your brand, it might be a bit weird to be like, I'm now trying to sell bikinis,
cover-ups and jumpers.
Modesty. Do you know what I mean? Like, that might be a big switch, but it's still doable. I think you can.
I think it also depends on how far you went with the sex that you were selling it in the first place.
I don't think so. I think you could have your full coochie out.
Really?
Full coochie and do a full rebrand. Absolutely.
I would like to see it.
The life is all about rebranding, and I think there are people out there who will be like, oh my God, she was, for example, is her name Mia Khalifa?
Yeah.
Obviously was a porn star. Now she does lots of, like, she talks a lot about politics. She talks like, she's completely rebranded. And yes, it was a part of her storyline or whatever, but I think you're able to rebrand. It might be harder, but you are able to rebrand. I don't think anything is set in stone. And I think long and short is, listen, if you want to sell something and you want to sell it with sex, go for it. Do what you need to do. However, there is also a world where you absolutely don't have to do that, and you can pivot from that. And someone like Pamela Anderson, something like that happened to her, and she was really embarrassed and annoyed that happened. But look at Pamela Anderson now. She is fantastic. She does so much for advocacy when it comes to, like, animals and human rights. Like, she is a beautiful soul inside and out. And that sex tape moment that she had no control over happened, but she didn't let it define her.
No, I totally agree.
So, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. You can listen to Famous Singing Low on BBC Sounds or watch on BBC Sounds YouTube channel.
And if you're looking for more from the world of celebrity drama and scandal, listen to our sister podcast, Famously on Trial, on BBC Sounds with Stacey Dooley and Larry Dean.
Bye for now.